This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. A quick turnaround for both these teams. And it's a day game. Moved up to 12-10 with our first pitch at Kauffman Stadium. Game number 2, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Kansas City Royals. Welcome to the broadcast booth here at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. That's Jim Edmonds, the Cardinals Hall of Famer. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes is with us as well. The Cardinals took it on the chin last night, no doubt. 7-1 the final in favor of the Royals, and today they turn to Adam Wainwright.
The old trusty number 1, huh? He's going to be out there today battling, and you know when he has his biggest games is after losses, when they really need him. Today's going to be a test because this team caught fire last night, and they got a lot of weapons and a lot of young players with a lot of hustle.
So it was their offense that did come alive, and that has been an issue this season for Mike Matheny's club. So in what could be the final visit for Waino, Yadi, Albert, they're all in the lineup today. Now, speaking of that Royals team and hustle, we saw that on display. Very athletic team on the bases last night.
I mean, these guys are flying. Some of them don't really even run the bases that well. They just flat out run hard. And they put a lot of pressure on this defense last night, taking the extra base, going from first to third, and really just get the moving of the infielders, and balls were getting through the hole, especially with the hit and run.
So the previous 4 games is 6 runs, and then last night they put up 7. Albert, Yadi, Waino here in 2022, and it could be the final time they ever play at Kauffman Stadium. Baseball coming up. St. Louis, it's Adam Wainwright, the pitchers today. The Royals and the Cardinals, final meeting of 2022, and it comes your way next. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Bally Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Beautiful Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Another chilly afternoon. It's got the chance to be a very cold road trip here in early May. Unseasonably chilly here in the Midwest, and then you go to the West Coast. Late nights in San Francisco, it gets cold.
You know it's going to be cold in San Francisco. I feel like that's the most unbelievable baseball weather you play in all year, because you go there in June and it's cool, and then you show up in October for the playoffs and it's 85 degrees outside.
That's right. It's Jim Edmonds, Jim Hayes with us. I'm Dan McLaughlin, and a look at the lineup for Ali Marmol. Tommy Edman at the top, then Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado. Albert Pujols, who was this date in 2018, he picked up hit number 3,000. Juan Yepez starting in right field, making his major league debut. Tyler O'Neill dropping down in the lineup. Harrison Bader, Yadier Molina, and Paul DeYoung. Chris Bubic, he's 0-2, third highest ERA currently in baseball. So if the offense is looking to get back on track, maybe this is the right guy to do it against.
Yeah, today is the day for sure. It's very interesting. You can see the Hyundai pitch arsenal with the fastball, breaking ball, and off speed. A guy who gets a lot of ground balls, but this year so far, it seems like he's been really getting underneath the ball, elevating, and against the New York Yankees gave up back-to-back home runs, and one of them was a changeup that was almost knocked down the wall out there in left field. Stanton.
So Bubic has allowed 14 runs his last 12 innings, first 4 starts of the season. And what's been interesting is that the opposing managers have been stacking the right-handed batters against this southpaw, and they have gotten to him in a big way. The switch hitting Tommy Edman. And the first pitch taken high. Last 6 games, Tommy has scored 8 runs and 9 for 23. And he's hitting .316 on the year. The outfield is straight away. And the 1-0 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Quick turnaround for both these teams in an early start.
Yes, it is. It's early in the season, though, and with this weather, I'm thinking you're probably happy that you're playing during the daytime today.
And the 1-1. Breaking ball taken high. And it's a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. Mike Matheny is 1 win shy of 700 in his career. Number 699 last night in a 7-1 win over the Cardinals. The 2-1 pitch. Cardinals have not lost back-to-back games to the Royals since May 22nd and 23rd of the 2018 season. That's 22 games ago. And the 3-1 pitch. Bubic to Edman. Full count. Hunter Wendelstedt is the crew chief, calling the balls and strikes. Chad Whitson at first. Edwin Moscaso at second. And Adam Hamari down at third. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled back. So a shakeup in the lineup. Cardinals know it's been hit or miss, all or nothing lately with this offense. Last 10 games, 10 straight now. They've either scored 7 or more or 2 or less. That's hit and miss. 3-2 pitch to Tommy Edman. So because of this, and it was quiet last night, Tyler O'Neill dropping down. Yadier Molina in the lineup. DeYoung batting ninth. And Yepez making his big league debut. Pitch number 8 of the at bat for Tommy Edman. And he draws a walk.
See right there, the fastball kind of erratic, but I kind of noticed a little bit. I don't know if you saw this, but the first breaking ball he threw was really bad, but it looked like he really slowed up. And then
slowed
it looked
up.
like he slowed up right there with the changeup too.
Yeah.
So that's something to watch for, because that's something that hitters can see. And as you're striding with your timing, your brain picks that up as you're moving, and it throws you right into, oh, this is something different, and a little bit easier to make contact or take pitches. Actually, taking the pitches are actually more important than actually hitting them at times like that.
Paul Goldschmidt has reached base safely 11 straight times in terms of games. And Tommy Edman at first base, he was caught stealing last night. Big gap in left center. And the 0-1 pitch.
See it right there.
Yep. Big league hitters pick up on that immediately.
Well, I mean, big league announcers pick up on it. The hitters better be.
Well, you're a big league announcer, Jimmy.
They better be picking up on it. And it's
roster
drastic.
move, by the way, for the Royals today. Carlos Santana dealing with ankle bursitis, so he goes on the injured list. As Goldie looks at a ball. Take a look at it, Jimmy. See if you pick up anything here with Bubic.
See him slow down right there. It's almost like, you know, with a hitter where you're kind of not sure, so you kind of don't really get into your full rhythm, and you kind of just like kind of guide the bat through the zone. It's almost like he's trying to guide the breaking ball through the zone.
And now 3-1. Bubic was the 40th overall pick back in 2018 out of Stanford. Normally a powerhouse in college baseball. So he got 20 ground ball double plays last year, third most in the major leagues, and he needs one here. The 3-1, and it's back-to-back walks to start the afternoon. Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's defense. Benintendi, Taylor, Olivares, who had a big night with 4 hits. He's in right in game 1. Bobby Witt Jr., Lopez, Merrifield, O'Hearn along the infield, and MJ Melendez making his first ever start in the big leagues behind the plate. He was the DH last night. Arenado with a double last night down the left field line. Comes in at .354 with the average, 6 home runs, and is driven in 18. Cardinals need to get a run here in the first inning.
And this is the guy you don't want to slow your body down and hang a breaking ball to in this lineup. He will make you pay.
And that is taken low. Albert Pujols on deck. So his ranks right now, early portion of the season, career high and a career high in OPS. The 1-0 pitch to Nolan Arenado. Ripped foul. Just foul.
Played by the ball boy.
So the Cardinals facing a lefty today. As I mentioned, third worst ERA in all of baseball. And then you have the Giants for 4 coming up tomorrow night. 6th best collective ERA in the game. So get on track today. You'll see some pretty good pitching over the weekend.
I feel like every time you go to San Francisco, they got a handful of pitchers for you.
1 ball and 1 strike on Arenado. Missed in, and it's 2-1. Back-to-back walks, an 8-pitch at bat by Tommy Edman to start the game. Goldschmidt now has reached base safely in 12 straight. And one of the top hitters in the game in the driver's seat. 2 balls, 1 strike here in the first inning. The next to the Cardinal third baseman, Nolan Arenado. Arenado, a drive, deep left, 3-0 St. Louis. That's how you start it. And some emotion from the Cardinal third baseman. 3-0 Redbirds on number 7 from Nolan Arenado.
Tell you what, I'm going to go with that is right where he likes it. He is in pull mode. His head is down. Great swing. But you know what I love most? Comes around the bases. And the first thing that all 3 of those guys do is they stop and they talk to Albert. And they talk to the next guy and the next guy, all standing there with their helmets on, giving them a little bit of information about what is going on out there on the mound. And I can guarantee you Goldie was one of those guys that was doing the talking, and he saw something, hopefully, and he's relaying it. That's what makes good teams, is the communication when it's good and when it's bad. And so hopefully a little bit of information here for these next 2 or 3 guys.
Already activity in the Kansas City bullpen. They will not waste time pulling him with the way things have been going for Bubic. And now it's Albert Pujols, back-to-back days starting. What could be his final game here in Kansas City. Grew up in this area when he moved here with his family at the age of 16. And the 1-0 pitch to Albert. 2 balls and no strikes. The highest whip in baseball among the starters so far this year. Bubic on that list. And they had 2-0. 3-0. He walks him here. If I'm Mike Matheny, I think I got to take him out. He 3 walks and a 3-run homer. And you know Albert's got the green light here. Albert Pujols sitting on 681 home runs. He hits it out to center on the 3-0, and the catch is made by Michael Taylor.
It was just a little bit long right there. It was a good swing. He just didn't get the hands to the ball like he normally does. And that's another thing too. That's your first swing of the day, and just didn't get there.
Juan Yepez making his big league debut, added to the 40-man roster last year for the playoff game. Did not appear and had turned it on down in Memphis. Homered last night. Took him a while to get to the ballpark today. Had some travel issues, but I was in the office of Ali Marmol, and the first thing he did when he got to the Cardinal clubhouse, walked into Ali's office, and a huge hug, long embrace between those two. As a dream is realized here today as Yepez makes the big leagues. Comes over from Atlanta. He was part of the Big city deal.
I told Ollie about our dream of having a AAA homer and a big league homer in the same day, and he said, don't think I wasn't thinking with the same thing.
Little flare hit down the right field line. This will drop. Yepez has his first major league hit. And looking for two. It's a double. Juan Yepez, and he has his first big league hit.
And don't throw the ball in the fountain.
So we had last night. Bobby Witt Jr. had his first ever home run and bounced back on the field, and Harrison Bader threw it in the fountain, and members of the Royals team had to dig it out and get it to him. But they got it to him.
I just can't believe that.
That's going to be it for Bubic. Mike Matheny has seen enough. Back-to-back walks, home run. Fell behind 3-0 on Pujols. He lined out to center. Yepez, his first major league hit. And that is it for the lefty with Tyler O'Neill coming up. The Chevy called to the pen, so the starter Bubic faces 5 today and taken out. And so Payamps will come in and face Tyler O'Neill with a runner at second. A lot of activity here in this first inning. Already a 3-run homer, a major league debut and base hit, and Tyler O'Neill to face Payamps.
That was quick, huh?
Yeah, it was quick. The 2 scoreless innings back on April 30th against the Yankees. Couple of strikeouts. We saw him at Busch Stadium, the 6th inning of the April 12th game. He worked around a walk and recorded a strikeout. So Payamps is in, and it's Tyler O'Neill at the plate. Yepez, your runner at second base. A breaking ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. I would imagine they went to Payamps before the game and said, look, Bubic is not pitching well. Not saying in that way, but just be ready.
I think it's more be ready.
You know, clearly they know, though. I mean, if you're a teammate, you see he's been ineffective, and he may get a call early. You know, the hit may be very quick.
That's when those are when the night games, you see the manager walk in the outfield and talking to everyone. That's kind of how everyone gets the, hey, how you doing? And then he walks by and says, hey, be ready early today. Might have to use you early in the game.
The 1-2.
You can
off
see
the
Tyler
plate.
O'Neill is in a funk. I mean, every movement that I see right now is just away from the plate. It's almost like he has gotten into that habit where I talked about kind of that butt wants to swing out a little bit and your hands kind of drop into the slot, trying not to get jammed or not hit it off the end of the bat. You're doing him a favor by coming inside right here.
Fly ball into right center, and that will drop. Yepez will score as it gets all the way to the wall, and Tyler O'Neill
look at Tyler run.
On his way to third, sliding in with a triple to make it 4-0 Cardinals. The third Cardinal hit. All have been extra bases to go along with a couple of walks in an early 4-0 lead. And Taylor not able to cut it off, and that allows O'Neill to get to third base, and the infield brought in by Kansas City.
That was about a half a step away right there from him laying out. I don't know about catching it, but making a heck of an effort. You could see it. He was just about to lean and then realized he wasn't going to get there.
And Bader sends a fly ball out to right. Olivares is there to make the catch. O'Neill will tag, and he will score, and that will make it a 5-0 St. Louis lead. Bader drives in his 5th. Well, like we said, ball game, it's feast or famine right now with this Cardinal offense.
You got that right, and right now they are getting after it. That's, same stuff, right? You get behind, and you have to throw strikes. The big leagues are going to get hammered.
Yadier Molina was in the initial lineup yesterday, then scratched, was tested for COVID, came up negative, and looks at a pitch inside. So to this point, no other positive test right now with the Cardinals, and that's obviously great news. That's fouled back. And it's a count of 1-1 Boy, you've got two great catchers behind the plate. And Salvador Perez, when he's playing catcher, he's the DH today. And then you have Yadier Molina. Molina, 10-time All-Star. Perez, 7 times. Yadi, the countless Gold Gloves, World Series champ. Perez is a World Series champ, so the accolades piling up for these two. Really Hall of Fame resumes, putting both of these guys and looking at what they've been able to do. And the 1-2 pitch to Yadier Molina, taken high and outside. Two balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs and nobody on. And Molina hits it out to deep left center. And Taylor over to make the catch. Big inning for the Cardinals. Highlighted by the Nolan Arenado home run, his 7th. He now has driven in 21 this year. And the kind of start the Cardinals needed. Half inning in the books, 5-0. Cardinals in a first inning this year. 5-0 our score, and it's old Uncle Charlie, Adam Wainwright, on the mound today for St. Louis. The battery mates, Waino and Yadi.
I think one of these days he's going to come up here and say, Uncle Charlie's cool, but the old Uncle Charlie might be a little bit pushing it with the age thing. And you see the Hyundai pitch arsenal.
He'll be fine with it.
Hyundai pitch arsenal. Fastball is both 2-seam, 4-seam, and probably cutter, and then the breaking ball and the off speed. Got the curveball. Sometimes throw the bigger cutter like a slider, and then the changeup, and then this guy right here
is caught. I don't know if all of the games, but almost, I would guess 99.9% of the games that he has pitched.
This is the 310th time Yadi and Adam have formed a starting battery. As they move up the all-time list.
Good old Uncle Charlie.
Edward Olivares, 4 for 5, pair of doubles. Had a run batted in, scored a run last night. He's hit 5 straight. Been the leadoff man for Mike Matheny the past 2 games, and that gets away. 1-1 strike. Olivares been attendee, then Perez the DH, O'Hearn, Merrifield, Bobby Wood Jr., Melendez, Taylor, and Nicky Lopez. He's a .955 OPS, and that leads their club. On base plus slugging. Cardinals shift on the left side. Little cutter there, and it's now 1-2.
Well, when you throw your first curveball and it almost ends up to the backstop, maybe just try a little something else until you get a feel for it. And he's a touch pitcher, and it is pretty chilly out today, so kind of keep an eye on that.
Well, last year, 32 starts for Waino. Second in wins with 17. And only one of 4 pitchers in the entire league with over 200 innings. Grounded to third, backing up Arenado. How about that? This guy is awesome. He is just flat out awesome. What a play. So much fun to watch.
Well, you said it. He could do so many things. He puts himself in good position.
Oh, look at the hop there.
All the time.
Even with the bad hop.
Well, that's just because he gave himself a little bit of space. Like I said, he's got enough smarts to know exactly how to play every ball. And if you just stand there and take the abuse of wherever the ball is going to go, you're putting yourself in a bad position. So we've seen him come forward on the ball and scoop it, and we've seen him now go back on balls. He's going side on the ball, throw the ball on the run, plant when he needs to. So he puts himself in good position almost every single play.
Curveball and just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Andrew Benintendi. 15-game on base streak coming into play. At his 9th multi-hit game last night. That's 5th best in all of baseball. Wainwright took a loss on Friday, 3 runs in 6 innings. And in that ball game, he issued 5 walks, which is a bit surprising for him. Normally, you don't see that with Adam Wainwright. Wound up being a 6-2 loss at home against Arizona, and the Diamondbacks are playing pretty good baseball, hovering right around 500 now. Did not see that coming.
No.
Count of 3-2 with 1 out. Exaggerated shift on the right side. Arenado basically at short with Benintendi at the plate, and it's pulled fair. Diving stop Goldie, and Ueno to the bag for the out. Pretty good defensive plays to start this game.
If I'm Benintendi, I come back to the dugout with a smile and I say, hey guys, don't hit the ball down the lines.
Yeah.
See, no wasted movement right there out of him. Just basically ball was hit and crossover and go.
And now it's Salvador Perez. 0 for his last 19 and 2 hits in his last 37 at bats. Cardinals play him to pull, and why not? His pull percentage this year is the highest it's been for Salvi since 2017. It's over 50%. Goldschmidt way off the line at first. And it's a ball and a strike. Hitting just 174. He does have 5 home runs, and he has driven in 9. He was the only one in the lineup last night that did not reach base. And the 1-1 pitch by Ueno. These two catchers have, and rightfully so, and understandably so, have great respect for one another.
Well, I know that Yadi is about 8 years older than Salvi, and I know when he came up, he was a huge fan of Yadier Molina.
Idolized him.
He talks about it all the time.
2-1 pitch, hit out of play. Toyota key to the game with Jim Edmonds.
Well, Danny, we were going to talk about getting that offensive start, but I'm going to go now with just Adam Wainwright throwing strikes and getting ahead. You got a 5-run lead. Make him put the ball in play like he does really well. Throw strikes. Give up the solo homers, but don't put any extra guys on base. Let them play defense.
Swing and a miss and a strikeout, the first of the afternoon for Adam Wainwright. And a 1-2-3 inning, a little help from his defense. 1 inning in the books. Cardinals on top. .14th, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older take home the Busch Stadium Cardinals purse. And that's cardinals.com/promotions, May 14th. That is a Saturday coming up at Busch Stadium. There's Paul DeYoung. Really a key play in the game was off the bat of DeYoung. Unfortunately for the Cardinals, grounded into a double play, and then the Royals were able to tack on some runs, and that was all she wrote last night. The 2-0 pitch. And it's 2-1. Cardinals 8-2 this season when they score in the first inning, and the Royals have been outscored 25-5 in first innings this year. Playing a lot of catch up. Right side and glove by Merrifield, and he makes the play.
Got to be kidding me right there. That's what we were talking about yesterday. When you're going bad and things go wrong and you finally do something right, you hit a ball the other way on the ground pretty hard and Second baseman goes to his left, makes a nice play. Times it's hard to find that grass.
Top of the lineup, Tommy Edman had an 8-pitch at bat to start the game, drew a walk and scored on the home run hit by Nolan Arenado. Back-to-back walks by Bubic, 3-run homer. Then he fell behind 3-0 on Albert Pujols. He lined out. Yepez, a bloop double down the right field line for his first major league hit, and Mike Matheny had seen enough. That's in for a strike, 1-1. Inside to Edman. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's now 9 runs scored in the past 7 games, including today, for Tommy Edman. Shift on the right side. There's a strike, and it's 2-2. After the ball game today, the Cardinals will travel out to San Francisco. Miles Michaelis will get the call in game 1 for the Cardinals. The 2-2. Fly ball to center fielder Michael A. Taylor. Makes the catch, and that's out number 2. Now a word from Great Southern Bank.
What's more convenient than over 100 helpful locations? How about one you can take with you? Wherever life's path leads you, we're just a tap away with Great Southern Mobile Banking.
Paul Goldschmidt walked and scored in the first. Reached base safely, 12 straight games, and that's off the plate for a ball. After a sluggish start, not saying that anymore, as the average has been hovering around 300. You know the power numbers in terms of homers will pick up. And a grounder hit to short. Nicky Lopez across the diamond. Cardinals go in order. O'Hearn, Merrifield, and Bobby Witt Jr. coming up. Juan Yepez has made his big league debut today and took a long road to get here, Jimmy.
He did, Danny. Quite a day for Juan Yepez yesterday. Hits his 9th homer for Memphis, then gets the big league call up, and that's when things went off the tracks a little bit. He had to catch a connecting flight from D.C. to KC last night, and the flight was canceled. He stayed in a hotel overnight in D.C. and arrived here this morning. He told me, I'm just glad to be here. It's a dream come true, being around guys like Waino, Yadi, and Albert. I want to be a sponge. I want to learn from the best. Danny, a little adventure for Juan getting here, but he made it. He says he has some family in the stands. I'm sure they enjoyed his first major league hit.
Great moment with the double down the right field line. Yepez, as you mentioned, the 9 home runs that he hit down in Memphis, and he and Nolan Gorman, they provided a spark. They're knocking on the door to come here. Now Juan gets his first crack at it. The 1-1 pitch to O'Hearn is grounded into the shift. DeYoung is there. 4 up and 4 down for Waino. So the Cardinals defense around the horn, brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. O'Neill in left, Bader in center, Yepez in right. Arenado, DeYoung, Edman, and Goldie on the infield. And Yadier Molina behind the plate.
Hopefully Adam keeps them nice and busy today. All of them.
Whit Merrifield. And he looks at a ball low. 9th round selection. What a pick. 2010 out of South Carolina. The year that he delivered a walk-off hit that captured the College World Series for South Carolina. Signed a 4-year extension. The team does have an option for next year, and it is popped up, going out Tommy Edman, and he'll make the catch. That's 2 outs, and it brings in Bobby Witt Jr.
Was the home state of Reggie Sanders now, which I saw last night.
Bobby Witt Jr. first ever big league homer, and really a pretty good pitch, a changeup down in just a bit, and Dakota Hudson said the pitch on Witt that he hit out, I tip my cap to him because he basically took it off the plate.
He took it right off the ground. Is right.
Traveled 417 feet, 102.5 miles per hour off the bat. They talk about his exit velocities, how hard he hits the ball. They say a lot of them has hit into some tough luck. Had a slow start, but now on an 11-game hitting streak, 341 during this streak, 4 extra base hits. First 10 games in the big leagues was hitting 128. Now starting to settle in.
That's funny. You saw right when they first got to St. Louis the first time, average wasn't, really high and kind of struggled a little bit, but it doesn't look like he's struggling. He's contact, running hard, he's putting the ball in play. It's not like he's just getting blown away, and all of a sudden he's starting to creep up. Some really good swings last night. A couple good swings the day before. It's going to be a good one, Danny.
And also, I would anticipate he's going to have some long hitting streaks with his speed.
Oh, yeah.
Beat out those infield hits, and all of a sudden, you extend it. Did that the other day at Busch Stadium. Good pitch to tie him up. The Young double clutch, and still got him.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
He's flying.
And the Royals will obviously take a look at this. Very close at first. I mean, you have to field everything cleanly with Witt running. And he is out. So no challenge. We're through 2. Cardinals on top. Nolan Arenado is dug in the box, wasting no time. Umpire had to get out of the way for Nolan to get in the box. He said, hold on, step out. I'm going to clean off the plate. Why not when you just hit your
feeling good
7th home run? Yeah, you want to get in there. And the 0-1 inside, and it's a ball and a strike. So his 7th home run. He's driven in 21, 3-run homer after back-to-back walks to start the game. Albert Pujols on deck, and then Juan Yepez.
About 4 times in a row right here where he's thrown a fastball way in off the plate, come back with a breaking ball. If I'm in that dugout, I'm paying attention to that. See if he doesn't fall into a pattern and take that fastball and look for the breaking ball the next pitch.
The 1-2.
Got to hurt.
One ball and 2 strikes on Nolan Arenado. Shift on the left side of the infield, outfield straight away and deep. And that is off the pitcher, steps and throws, and also off the end of the bat, and the first out. And it brings in Albert Pujols back in 2009. Pretty much you can flash back to just about any date, see something that Albert's done at this ballpark where he saw his first major league game when he was 16 years old. And then putting up big numbers here at the K. First game was June 12th of 2001. He's had memorable moments here. He's a .373 hitter at this ballpark. That's 3rd all time. As they check on the right-hander, his slugging percentage, visiting players first all time. At bats, plate appearances, anything you want to look at, Albert Pujols is the tops of the list visiting players here at Kauffman Stadium, and they're going to check and make sure that this right-hander is okay. Joel Payam says I'm all right. Thumbs up. And it brings in Pujols, who swung on 3-0 against Bubic and lined out to center. Does he have one more memorable moment here at Kauffman Stadium? One out, nobody on. And the slider taken outside. The 1-0. A ball and a strike. So 4 years ago, hit number 3,000 for Pujols. That was against Mike Leake in Seattle. Became the 32nd member at the time of that club. The 1-1. Broke his bat, slowly hit to third. And Bobby Witt Jr. makes the play. And the second out. Here at the top of the third, it brings in Juan Yepez.
We talked about this a few times this year. Was it me, or is it the bats are breaking more this year again?
And exploding too. Yepez in his first major league at bat. Hit him where they ain't, and it turns into 2 in the first major league hit.
That is a line drive double in the record books right there. Or when I played, they didn't have video, so we just told everyone it was a line drive double. I don't think I have a video of my first hit.
They all count.
Yeah, they do. Take them while you can. They will take them away from you as much as they can.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. The slider in there for a strike. 1-1. It was both Yepez and Gorman, and they said even in spring training put a lot of pressure on themselves. They knew that they were being talked about to potentially come north with the club. Neither one had a very good spring, but didn't pout. Put up big numbers at AAA. Another fly ball hit down the right field line, and it could be another base hit. It is. That's a fair ball, and he's 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles.
You know the best part about this is it's first day in the big leagues. They're playing in the pull. The infield's got his shift on, and he jam shots 2 balls down the right field line for doubles. And the good news is he's not trying to pull off on the ball. He's not trying to do too much. He's just staying inside the ball and just playing the game. Just a little bit late, but staying through the ball. It's a good swing right there.
So 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles and a run scored. And now Tyler O'Neill. Well, you look at guys that have to pick it up. O'Neill, Carlson, DeYoung. If a young guy comes up and starts hitting, it's going to play. One ball and 1 strike. Ali was talking before the game, for some guys it's mental struggles, other guys mechanical. Juan has become the first player in Cardinals history to have 2 doubles in his first major league game. A long history of this franchise. He's the first to do it.
I figured you were going to come with that stat. I was kind of just waiting for you to go ahead and say it. It seemed like that was a no, but I guessed I figured it would be within the top 2 or 3 only guys doing it, because that doesn't happen very often.
Well worth all the travel for sure. 2-2 the count. Runner at second, 2 outs. Cardinals leading 5-0 here in the top of the third.
Just a little tired, not trying to do too much, not overthinking it. 2 missiles for doubles.
The 2-2 pitch to O'Neill. Full count. Nice play by the young MJ Melendez to keep that in front.
You know what's funny is in the morning when everyone wakes up, you take a look at this play and you're right, this is a great play because this ball is taken off on him right here. In the morning when everyone wakes up, they're going to see at the bottom of the box score, and it's going to say batting double Yepez 2, and everyone's going to be like, how awesome is that?
I bet his teammates are watching right now in Memphis or wherever they may be.
Hopefully they're not watching yet. They'll just see that the 2 doubles, and then he can just make up some really good story, like he blistered a ball off the right center and left center field wall.
The 3-2 pitch to Tyler O'Neill. And he draws the walk.
Oh, it's 2 pitches in that at bat that he didn't get, that just missed location cost him.
Yeah, there's another one right here. I think he's set up inside. He just misses, but he's firm velocity, yanks it, and you can see the catcher having to go get it. That's a tough call for the umpire, even though the ball looked like it crosses the plate. If you notice, though, the further that the catcher moves inside, the umpire moves with him. So the outside the part of the plate gets further and further away. So if you miss location by that much, makes it really tough.
Slowly hit up the third base line. They call it the slot there for the home plate umpire, which is basically between the hitter and the catcher. And in this case, right-handed batter, so he's on the left shoulder of Melendez to try to get a look, and that's what you're talking about. He's set up in, had to reach. So
and the farther he sets up in, the umpire has to go with him. So if you're really trying to get in on a hitter, you're moving over a foot, and that puts the umpire another foot over your shoulder. So now it's tougher to see the outside corner.
And the 0-1. Now 0-2 on Bader with runners at first and second and 2 away. Royals have not swept the Cardinals since late June of 2016 and have never done so in a 2-game set here at Kauffman Stadium. They have their work cut out for them today, trailing 5-0, and Cardinals trying to add to it. The 0-2. So he's able to foul that pitch away, and Ollie's been talking about the fact he's keeping himself in there, keeping himself alive. Let's see if he can't do something now after that foul ball, and another 0-2 coming up.
I'll tell you what's tough is he kind of gets in that like lift and separate mode and pulls a lot of balls foul, and then I don't know how he's able to stay on that pitch away now, but if he could just find the middle earlier, he's going to start doing some damage. That's not so much of a better swing. It's kind of how I learned how to spread out, as I started doing more damage with 2 strikes than I was with no strikes and 1 strike, and I figured that I was just not trying as hard, staying back, and really just getting the bat through the zone. And the next thing you know, you're learning how to hit, and that's what it takes sometimes. Learning how to hit with 2 strikes opens your eyes to overswinging with no strikes.
And the 0-2 pitch again, and he got a strikeout of Harrison Bader. And the first of the afternoon for this right-hander. Midway through 3, 5-0 Redbirds. And Adam Wainwright still doing it. June 13th of 2007, one of his best starts, if not the best start he's had against Kansas City. Went 8 innings, 1 hit allowed. 110 pitches of that 2007 season. Year before, he was a closer at the end of the year.
That first sinker that we just showed was nasty.
And today is start number 364 for Adam Wainwright. And just 7 appearances, 4 starts in 15. Torn Achilles. He had the Tommy John surgery. He's been a 3-time All-Star. Twice he's been the runner-up for the Cy Young Award, and the list goes on and on. But it is amazing with all the mileage on that body, the shoulder, the arm. Pitched at least 6 innings in 24 of 32 starts last year. When guys are cold, analytically, you're not going to see a lineup a 3rd time through. And you go to bullpens all the time. He truly is a throwback.
Well, why not?
I love it.
Just keep pitching. You know, the thing that he does is he makes the adjustment during the game. He's not afraid to make pitches. Doesn't walk a lot of guys. And, you know, you're successful 3 times out of 10. So go with the odds. Make them play the game. And you make it easy on hitters by getting behind, throwing pitches down the middle, walking guys, putting pressure on your defense. It's going to be a long day, but he doesn't do that very often.
And the curveball pulled foul by Melendez. So he's tied now with Pittsburgh's Vern Law pitched in the 50s and 60s. 18th all-time, most starts for only one franchise.
I don't think he's going to be tying very many people that are in our era. Too much movement. The leaderboard these guys are climbing now are all old school players.
Yeah.
Especially Adam, Yachty, Albert.
His 12th start since turning the age of 40. That's 6th most all-time in Cardinals history. Had him out in front with a breaking ball. Lifted to center. The Kia player profile, and you talk about quality starts, so pretty amazing. Adam Wainwright looking to tie Bob Forsch, the Cardinals Hall of Famer. Bob Gibson, all-time leader at 328. I still think the most amazing stat with Bob Gibson, 251 wins. That's great. 255 complete games. That's amazing.
So you're saying they didn't take the ball out of his hand very often?
I don't know if they'd be allowed to. Base hit for Michael A. Taylor in the first hit for the Royals.
Is it the day off for the pitching coach?
Pretty much.
Put your feet up.
And Bob would yell at the offense, tell them to score a run.
Couple claps. And then if the offense didn't score, then he took matters into his own hands.
And a lot of times he did, swinging the bat. Ninth place batter, Nicky Lopez. Average at 229. Aldoberto Mondesi is out for the year. It's a huge loss for the Royals as Lopez looks at a strike. And Nicky is from Naperville, Illinois. 5th round selection in 2016 out of Creighton University. It's the 11th player in Creighton Blue Jay history to be selected in the top 5 rounds. Alan Bennis pitched for Creighton University. What might have been for Alan Bennis if he doesn't get hurt? He was really good.
I heard lots of great stories out of
Jimmy.
Out of La Russa.
Stud.
And then I faced him after he was hurt when he didn't have a lot of velocity left, and he still was getting through it, but the velocity wasn't there. But you could see the movement. But wow.
1-2 the count on Lopez with a runner at first.
Brother wasn't bad either.
Not too shabby.
Brother hit me in the thigh one time when I was very young, and it hurt for about 2 weeks. About 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Andy.
Trying to go the other way, and a high throw. And the slide wasn't completed by Taylor, and if he does slide into the bag, he's probably safe. He never got to the bag, so DeYoung comes down, touches the bag, and it's an out.
That was a really awkward situation right there. Paulie, not only does he pull the throw, pulls him off the bag, he's not even able to come down on the bag. He has to go back and touch it again. Yeah, that was a mistake right there by Taylor.
Jimmy, it's shades of Willie Mays Hayes. Come on, keep coming.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, you got to get to the bag.
I think you're just giving in right there, which you can't do. And you know, it's funny. The one time you do it, it shows up.
Yep.
100 slides in a row. Probably has never done that. The one time, it gets you.
There's Olivares. Rounded out to third, first time up. Top of the lineup for Kansas City. And a shift on the left side for St. Louis. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Outfield is straight away. And the next by Adam Wainwright. Curveball and a beauty. 1-2 the count. This has been, I think, for Adam with the weather maybe, but trying to get a feel for that, and that's one of his better breaking balls.
You notice he's gone maybe more cutter slider today after, especially to that first curveball he threw behind the neck of a hitter. But yeah, you got to figure it out. No one's going to make excuses for you, and he's definitely the first one to tell you that.
And the 1-2. That was the curveball, second pitch of the game that went behind Olivares, who was at the plate here. So one goes behind your head and over your head, and then he drops one in and drops 12-6.
Well, it's funny too because first curveball with second pitch throws it way behind him. So he's like, okay, well, now you're in your head. You're like, he's probably thinking, how am I going to get that feel for that? So I got to I have to throw a strike so I can try to throw it again. And which is awesome because he's willing to do that to maybe risk
throwing another ball. But what he did was throw a strike first and got him to a 1-2 count, and then tried to throw another breaking ball where he got a couple pitches to give. And I just thought it was interesting. Instead of just kind of
putting it on the shelf, he just figured, well, let me get back into the count, and then we'll try it again.
And the 2-2 is popped up right side. Goldie over and out of play. Anytime I see a pop-up first baseman going after it, if you're a Cardinal fan, you think Jack Clark, Game 6, 1985 World Series. Don Dinkinger. Bad call. Orta led off the inning. Dinkinger blew the call, but then after that, the dropped pop-up at foul territory. Cross-up, pass ball, and the rest is history.
Try right there.
Just put myself in a bad mood. I was in a great mood.
I'm glad I didn't see that and wasn't a Cardinal fan at the time.
It was
so
tough.
I'm still just not even, I know the story, but I'm just not even feeling you right now.
It's tough.
Yep, I get it.
3-2. Backing up, Arenado across the diamond, and he makes the play. Royals strand a runner. We move to the fourth, and the Cardinals on top. Let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam here at Kauffman Stadium, which is named after the Royals founding owner, Ewing Kauffman. Part of the Truman Sports Complex. Right across the way is Arrowhead Stadium, home to the Chiefs. And it was prior to 2009. They reduced the capacity to just below 38,000. They put in the new video board, some of the new seats, standing areas.
It's funny you say that. I was just looking out there, kind of trying to figure out where they stopped the fountains, because they used to be, they weren't symmetrical perfectly, but in left center field they did go a little bit further. But I think when they did all this, it made it a better hitting ballpark, to be honest with you.
Yadier Molina and Dylan Coleman is into the ball game. Young man from Potosi, Missouri. Hard thrower. Pitched at Missouri State. And he grew up idolizing Jim Edmonds, Yadier Molina, Albert Pujols. Told me he went to about 6 home openers in a row. Was a huge Cardinal fan.
I'm glad he was a lot younger, because the 97-mile-an-hour fastball with the 86-mile-an-hour slider would not be fun to face.
You can see that he keeps himself in tremendous condition. He's a workout fanatic. The 2-1 pitch. And I told this story when we were in St. Louis. He had a lot of family and friends that made the trek from Potosi to St. Louis to watch him pitch. 3-1 to Yadi, and it's hit out of play. But I said, how did you get this velocity? He said it was a stretching exercise and a regimen that he does every day, and it gave him a little bit more flexibility. And he said, I'll never change that ever again. He said, I obviously love to work out, but the stretching is what helped. That's line to center, the catch made by Taylor.
I don't think that the strength hurts a little bit either. It's definitely one of those things that
he said he had like a back issue.
I think that guys have always been told to be careful with lifting and getting stronger and throwing, but I always was a true firm believer that if you do it the right way and you keep throwing and you build up strength, why not your arm can improve? You know, why can't you get stronger and throw and keep that strength? And we always see guys that are built like this usually have pretty good velocity with a little bit of ease.
There's Paul DeYoung.
25 years old.
And Potosi was also a tremendous basketball player too. Big guy, 6'5". He was All-State in both baseball and basketball in the state of Missouri. He had more than 2,300 points on the court. That was a 45-year school record that he broke. They think eventually that he could be a top setup man, potentially a closer with his stuff.
They're good stuff.
That's inside. DeYoung grounded out his first time up.
A really good take right there. That's the key to getting back on track for hitting for him, is not swinging at bad pitches. Notice the leg kick is a little bit smaller today. Really trying to focus on just getting the barrel to the ball.
3-2. Cardinals with 4 hits today as they picked up a 5-run first, knocked out Bubic, the starter. Did not record an out.
It's a really good swing, but a really good fastball at the same time.
3-2 pitch. Fouled back. Download the MLB app and get video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more for your St. Louis Cardinals. Coleman made his major league debut last year. The check swing, and he went. So a strikeout of DeYoung, and Coleman has gotten the first 2. Comes back to get the Cardinals shortstop, top of the lineup, and Tommy Edman.
He just cannot catch a break, can he?
So 2 outs, and Edman, 8-pitch at bat to start the game, drew a walk and scored on the 3-run blast off the bat of Nolan Arenado. It's also fly to center, shift on the right side, and the first pitch is a strike. Dillon had a very good college career at Missouri State. Sophomore, he led the team at 8 wins. That time they were in the Missouri Valley Conference. They won that. Then an NCAA regional title. Keith Dutton down at Missouri State. He's got a very good program. Many, many years. Late movement there. And the 1-2 pitch to Tommy Edman. Fastball taken high. 99 on the gun.
Just like he's just starting to get loose. It was like 96, 97. A couple pitches later, 98. Now it's 99.
The 2-2. Struck him out. Ooh. So a couple of strikeouts for Dylan Coleman from Potosi, Missouri. 5-0 St. Louis. Injury report, and we've talked about it, that Mondesi is done for the year. Torn ACL and a big loss. And it happened running against the White Sox. And Jimmy, I was telling you the other day, it didn't seem like it was all that much, but a cool night, April 26th in Chicago, something wasn't right. And unfortunately for he and the Royals, his season is done.
That's awful.
Yep.
For a young man with so much talent.
Speed a big part of his game.
It's really crazy how easy that looked too.
Yeah.
Just in doing, it's almost like the Wainwright deal, you know, like the Achilles. Just take a swing, take a step out of the box, and it's got to be hard to watch, especially, you know, you're the manager or you're just a fan. You see a guy just doing his normal stuff and ends up costing him an entire year.
1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the 4th, 5-0 Cardinals. Andrew Benintendi at the plate. It's a diving stop by Goldschmidt. Bueno covered the bag, and they had an out off the bat of Benintendi earlier today. The 1-2 hit into the shift. That's Arenado, and he bobbles. A rare miscue for Nolan Arenado.
You said it, rare miscue. It's almost like it was almost too easy for him out there at short, just right to his left. It's one of those balls that just kind of doesn't stick in your pocket, and when you go to grab it, it slides right up your thumb. You see that, how when he stuck his hand in there, the ball was just not in the pocket anymore. So used to just not having to look down there. You never look in your glove. You just know where it's at, and it wasn't in there.
Salvador Perez. You were a great defensive player, obviously, 8 Gold Gloves. I'm going to throw this at you. Do you think some guys struggle with the shift in terms of not necessarily ball to the glove, but the footwork?
Well, I was going to say that, and there's no way that he would ever admit this, but that is a different play for him.
Yes.
You know, it's a shuffle right there, a shortstop shuffle versus, you know, just coming in, catching it, and setting your feet.
And DeYoung with the catch, and Perez the out.
Total different approach to the ground ball.
Yeah.
You know,
moving his feet towards right field.
He's kind of just sliding over, and he doesn't really have to do that at third. There's short, quick steps. You know, the only time you see him really have to move is when something is hit in. Usually the backhand is quick, or you know, he'll make a play and he'll kind of run forward. But you can see from this angle, he's going to now have to shift heel to heel, like right here, and that's different. And you see that when he goes in for the glove, the ball is just not in the web.
O'Hearn grounds it right side, taken by the shortstop DeYoung.
Ooh, good play.
And Yachty has to go cover the bag at third.
That's the third time Yachty's been at third base today, and just a routine play. It's a nice play right there, a little communication breakdown, and Paulie has to really just take that ball and get Tommy out of the way. Tommy might have a better shot to go to second, but it's all about getting the out right there. The heads up play right there, just getting one out.
Whit Merrifield playing in game number 492, consecutive games, 492, extending his franchise record. Longest streak in the majors since Prince Fielder. He played in 547 consecutive games. September of 2010 to May of 14. And if you're keeping score at home, he's 2,140 away from Cal Ripken.
Little perspective.
Like I said this the other day, I did the numbers last year. You have to play till like he's 45, maybe 44, something like that. But even to play in this amount of games, it's
rare now.
Accomplishment. And the 0-1 pitch with 2 outs and a runner at second base. On the ground to short, DeYoung steps and throws and makes the play. We move to the 5th, and it's 5-0 Cardinals. 13th, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older take home a white 1982 inspired performance hat courtesy of Quick Trip. And for tickets, visit cardinals.com/promotions. Here's Goldschmidt. And he leads it off here in the 5th inning. And the 2nd inning of work for Coleman. Boy, when you don't have a starter, it gets you innings. And in this case, Bubic can't get an out. It's not just for Mike Matheny this game. It's tomorrow, the next day.
It takes a toll, for sure.
You know, it just, the residual effect of a starter not going deep is big.
Well, if you look at it, let's just say, right? So you take all the, right now, the 3 guys that are in this game. And if you just look at the stat sheet and you see any one of these 3, or now 2 guys, but another guy coming eventually, if they pitched yesterday, probably not available for tomorrow. And then if you look at the guys that didn't pitch yesterday, they're available tomorrow, but they won't be available the next day. So then you're starting to think, and then, you know, you obviously have your situational guys, and then what of those two guys are you going to need the next? And it's just, it has carryover on top of carryover on top of carryover that might not straighten itself out for 3 or 4 days.
Brings in Arenado after the line out of Goldie. Now they do have an off day tomorrow, but still, even the day after tomorrow, there's going to be guys that are off limits.
Well,
and with a 3-batter minimum, Jimmy, it used to be, well, can you get me an out? If we have the matchup with Albert Pujols, hey Dylan, can you come and get Albert Pujols? Well, now you got to stay in for 3, and that complicates it.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a little bit tougher. But I'm looking at the pitches thrown in the last 7 days, and as far as I'm concerned, they've done an amazing job with their bullpen so far, so it doesn't look like they'll be in much trouble in the future. But during maybe a long stretch that, say, the Cardinals are in right now, playing, 20-something in a row, you might have that situation. But luckily for them, with the Royals, they've only got a couple of guys that just threw yesterday, and then those same guys really didn't throw the day before or the day before, other than Snyder, so they might be okay. But yeah, you're definitely nail on the head, because this does present an issue going forward.
So I was talking with Dylan Coleman when they were in town in St. Louis, and he said he saw Albert in a workout clothes when the Royals arrived to the ballpark. I said, "That's one of your heroes. Did you say anything?" He said, "Nah."
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
He said, I didn't want to bother him. I said, "I bet he would have loved for you to come up to him and just say hello and tell him what he means to you." And now he's facing one of his boyhood idols in Albert Pujols. Pretty cool. The 1-1 pitch. 1-2.
That's what that 98 gets you right there.
Yep. Sell out a little bit. Or maybe he's just setting him up.
No, he can do both, but you just see the hip. That's just telling you he's looking heater.
And a count of 1-2 with 2 outs and nobody on. Remember, Albert spent many years as a teenage boy in nearby Independence, about 10 miles east of Kansas City. Fort Osage High School. He was All-State twice. Maple Woods Community College. .402 players selected ahead of Albert Pujols. 290 of them never played a game in the major leagues.
It's almost like the Mike Piazza version of St. Louis Cardinals.
The 2-2. And it is popped up left side. And the catch is made. 5-0 midway through 5.
Bottom 5 in KC. Cards up 5-0. Ali Marmol shaking up his lineup a little bit as he tries to jumpstart his offense. Tyler O'Neill had batted in the 3rd spot in every game this season. Today he's dropped down to 6th. Marmol told me it's a matter of putting Goldie and Nolan back to back. Both have been taking quality at bats, and so has Tommy. It's been tough for us to string together good at bats, so it was important to have all 3 back to back to back. Danny, Ali getting quite a bit of offense early in this one, so apparently it's paying off.
Yep, 5-0. Cardinals with 4 hits in this game. And in the first inning, they had 3. And since then, they've had a double by Yepez, who is 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles in his major league debut. And the 0-1 pitch from Adam Wainwright, make it 0-2 to Bobby Witt Jr.
Ooh, that was a big old breaker right there.
Yes, sir.
Little knee buckler.
Very light drizzle falling here at the ballpark, but we understand rain is a coming. The 0-2 pitch. Tapped foul. So the home run he hit, an 88-mile-an-hour changeup, down and basically picked off the plate by Bobby Witt Jr. last night.
I'm sure if you asked him, probably his best swing of the year. Everything was perfect.
Boy, a lot of soft contact so far today against Waino as Witt gets down the line, makes it close, always hustling, and he's 0 for 2. Now a word from Rally House.
Play ball, St. Louis. Shop the latest in Cardinals style with your favorite brands and throwback designs. Rally House has gear for every fan.
The catching prospect, MJ Melendez, made his major league debut last night. Designated hitter. Number 49 overall prospect at MLB.com. Went 1 for 3 last night, had a walk. And an opposite field single to left field in the bottom of the 6th for his first major league hit. Fly ball, left field, O'Neill with the catch, and there's 2 away.
The ball went a long way right there for not really trying to hit it that way. It's a pop off the end of that bat.
Here's Taylor, who is 1 for 1. And has the only hit so far for Kansas City, a clean hit to center. And a ground ball left side. Arenado to his left, throws off balance, and a 1-2-3 for Adam Wainwright. 62 pitches to get through 5. Ball is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. And by St. Louis Children's. Only St. Louis Children's, Missouri's #1 pediatric hospital.
Play ball, St. Louis. Shop the latest in Cardinals style with your...
So the new pitcher in, Gabe Spire, the lefty, had a 1-2-3 ninth inning to seal last night's win over St. Louis. Scoreless streak to begin the season at 6 1/3. And it brings in Yepez, 2 for 2, couple of doubles, hit down the right field line, and a run scored. So Spire, the lefty, takes over for Coleman with 2 scoreless innings. It's our Chevy call to the pen. Gabe Spire.
Good fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. About 94.
The shift on the left side, fouled back, good cut.
I like that swing right there. Little back leg.
And a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Nine home runs at the time of his call up from AAA. And that's inside, and chance to go hacking here. 3 balls, 1 strike. It's already a debut he'll never forget. Why not put an exclamation point on it?
Gotta be careful of that fastball. Those little sneaky little crossfire. Not to do too much.
Steps back in. 3 balls, 1 strike on Yepez. Big gap in left center. 3-2. Is that what you were talking about right there?
Just a little bit. I mean, you got to let it go, but you know, I meant kind of like don't you know, see it and swing. Good swing, but just don't chase. Don't try to do too much. Keep it in the zone.
3-2 put in play. Hit to the shift. And the out. StubHub, proud to be the official partner of the Cardinals. And if your plans change, you can easily list your tickets with StubHub. You can even use the free seller toolkit to help you manage the price of your tickets. StubHub. Download the StubHub app today. So 1 out. And it brings in Tyler O'Neill. Jimmy, I was saddened to hear the news of our good friend, former Cardinals catcher Tom Pagnozzi. His wife Colleen, battling a long illness, passed away and was able to text back and forth with Tom and send condolences. He was very grateful, and grateful to all of us and to Cardinal Nation. He said a lot of the fans in terms of people he's become close with over years have expressed their condolences. So Tom, we're thinking of you in the passing of Colleen. We're thinking of Brittany and Tiffany and Andy, your children. And Tom Pagnozzi, one of the classiest people you will ever meet in this game, and we're thinking about him today. 2-1 the count on O'Neill. Tom even told me that the baseball game last night was the last thing that she watched. She loved Cardinal baseball. So Tom, we love you and we're thinking of you. Out number 2. Well, the Cardinals offense after the first inning has been shut down, and now it brings in Bader. As a sac fly to center, part of the 5-run inning in the first inning. He's driven in 5 on the year, and he struck out. So 0 for 1. We have so many of the fantasy camp players that, whether you're a former major leaguer or just attend the fantasy camp, that know Tom so well, and sure that they'll be reaching out very shortly now that the news is being made public. And that's popped up right side as his wife battled a long illness and was very tough. So again, Tom, we're thinking about you. One ball, one strike with 2 outs and nobody on. Ooh, tied him up.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about with the fastball. That kind of 3/4, but he's stepping a little bit across his body. The angle. This is like that. It's more of a cutter right there, I guess, huh? It's like just kind of chases you as a hitter. And once you start that swing, can't do anything about it.
2-2 the count. Lights on here at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. After the ball game, we head to San Francisco. And the 2-2 hit down the left field line, but foul. Kansas City A's moved to Oakland after the '67 season. Kansas City then awarded an expansion team in 1969. And the A's were here from '55 until '67. Prior to that, the Philadelphia A's. And a couple of championships now here with the Kansas City Royals, 2015 and 1985. Well, clearly trying to go up and in, and now the count runs full.
That was just probably right here, just a setup, trying to get him out of the way. Say if he wasn't in a 3-2 situation, you're going to get a breaking ball for sure.
Trying to go away and spoiled by Bader.
Kind of see a little bit of Cal Eldred in this pitching staff. They're going to come in hard, go away, back in,
Get you thinking in there. Go away soft.
Slowly hit right side. Bader hustling, and the throw up the line, but O'Hearn stays on the bag. The home half of the sixth rolls in when we come back. It's 5-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Find yours at steeldealers.com. By CarShield. CarShield cars go farther. And by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. It has been ground ball after ground ball against Adam Wainwright, as he has been terrific here today. 11 ground ball outs.
Versus just two flyouts.
It'd be Nicky Lopez, Olivares, and then Benintendi. The ground ball percentage in 2022 on the rise. And the first pitch taken for a ball. And the 1-0 pitch. We're wondering, how is Juan Yepez going to look playing the outfield? Well, 11 ground ball outs, you're not going to see a lot of action.
Maybe that's why he's out there today.
It's Michaelis going tomorrow for St. Louis, and the 1-1 fouled back.
Then maybe, like I said last night, Dylan Carlson's arm might need a rest. Doing a lot of throwing in the last few days.
Yepez, you hit, you stay in the lineup, I would imagine. And the 1-2 pitch by Adam Wainwright. Curveball. 2-2.
You can see the frustration right there. Just can't pull that curveball down. This air. A little dry, a little cold.
And the 2-2. Hasn't gone to many 3-ball counts here today early. It's been soft contact early in counts. Pitch count is under 70. Fouled back. So 310 career starts. Battery mates today, Yachty and Waino. Here in Kansas City, it was George Brett and Frank White. They were together, teammates for 18 seasons.
Gosh, 18.
The 3-2 pitch. It's the Royals Baseball Academy that produced Frank White. Came through their academy.
You got to be seen, right? These days it's even harder. There's more people playing, less scouts, less opportunities, so you got to be seen any way you can be seen.
So many times for young athletes, it's done through social media.
Yes, it is. I know that my son is doing that and has been asked to do that by certain teams that he's been around.
And Lopez battled there and picks up a leadoff walk here in the 6th. And now a word from Tickets for Less.
Tickets for Less, for a better ticketing experience. Best seats, best prices, and no surprises at checkout.
Edward Olivares grounded out to third. First time up. Couple of ground outs here today, and 0 for 2. So the leadoff walk, and now the first pitch to Olivares, taken for a strike. Top of the lineup, third time through for Adam Wainwright.
That was a good pitch right there by Waino, strike one, but even a better job at Yachty. Kind of pushing it back over the plate. Buying that strike.
And the 0-1 by Wainwright with a shift on the left side. And a fly ball to Yepez. And he'll make the catch. And the first out. Hey, no big deal. Now, what you can't have in this situation is you get in late innings and you're tied or up. You're going to see a Dylan Carlson come into the game. So you give a guy 2 or 3 at bats, but then you can get your best defense out there.
You see Yepes moving his legs around like it'd been a long couple days of travel and stretching himself out. Hadn't moved a whole lot this afternoon, and then one fly ball, and you're like, ooh,
where'd that come from? A little stiff.
So defensively hasn't moved. Offensively, he has.
Yes.
And the 0-1 off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Andrew Benintendi. Diving stop by Goldie. His first plate appearance with Wainwright covering the bag to take an extra base hit away. Reached on an error by Arenado in the 4th. And the 1-1 pitch from Adam Wainwright.
Oh, just missing.
He's missing, but not by much.
Nope, just around the plate.
It's the kind of pitch that gets you to roll over. That's your double play and your ground ball. Benintendi, though, is good at going the other way. 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Edman had to avoid the runner, makes the play.
There's Yachty down to third base again.
Salvador Perez is struck out and popped out. It's not often you catch him on a run like this. He is hitless in his last 21 at bats, 2 hits in his last 39.
He's really taken some big swings, though, and he is not interested in hitting line drives or hitting the ball the other way right now. It is big swing after big swing after big swing.
Two outs, runner at second. Jimmy, you ever been to the American Royal?
No, I don't think so.
I know you love to enjoy different things. Yes. I've never been there either, but it's a livestock horse show rodeo. It's been held in Kansas City annually since 1899. So part of the Royals name comes from that.
That's a fun fact I did not know.
Figured you being a rancher that you are.
Yes. What I'm going to end up being, I think, but not what I am right now.
You'd be all over that.
Still interesting, though. Been to a rodeo or two.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
Been to a bullfight in Venezuela one time. Very interesting.
Have you run with the bulls?
No, sir. That doesn't seem like a good idea.
No.
I don't know at what point that ever does seem like a good idea for people,
Never.
But they do. It's like kind of diving with sharks without a cage.
So 2 outs, runner at second, and the 0-2 pitch to Perez. Good pitch.
Trying to get him to chase. I think you have to run one kind of underneath his hands a little bit, kind of by the lower part of his thighs, in off the plate, just for like close to the strike, just to see if you could kind of keep him from diving. Maybe set something up for later in the game for somebody else, but either that, you have to keep going way off the plate.
And the 1-2.
Ooh, it's a little drop down breaking ball right there.
Sure did, didn't he? I think that's the first time I've seen him do that this year.
This year for sure.
A little smile from Adam
From
and
all
also
of them.
Waino and Perez. Hey, what's that?
That's exactly what's happening right now. They're like, what is going on? Oof. Give it a try.
Check on the runner at second base, and the 2-2. Full count.
You can see him being really careful right here.
The 3-2 pitch. He got him, and a strikeout of Salvador Perez. The second of the day for Adam Wainwright. Sends us to the 7th. Gets Perez, always a key out. And the Cardinals on top 5-0. Waino, Albert, all in this game. What could be the final time that this trio faces the Kansas City Royals. Some fun moments over the years. That was August 9th of 2017. That was the home run hit by Yadier Molina. That was also the night of the Rally Cat. Cat made its way onto the field, not Jim Hayes, and they had to take it off the field. And then right after that, Yadi busts through with that big home run. And right now catching Adam Wainwright, who's been outstanding with 1 hit allowed through 6.
The Rally Cat.
The Rally Cat. 5-0 our score. Amir Garrett into the ball game. And this is our Chevy call to the pen. Saw him last night. 6 1/3 so far this year and a 1.42 ERA.
Just the fastball slider guy. See another lefty kind of crossfire.
Mike Matheny emptying his bullpen here today after trailing 5-0. Taking out his starter. 2 balls, no strikes. Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Reno the count. Three and 1. DeYoung on deck, and then Tommy Edman. Cardinals with 4 hits, but they picked up 5 runs in the first inning. And Molina pops it up. O'Hearn under it, and he'll make the catch. First out here in the top of the 7th. BJC difference maker, and a look at the starters. Adam Wainwright still going. 6 innings, 1 hit, a ton of ground ball outs. Bubic, can't say the same thing. Back-to-back walks to start the game. 3-run homer by Nolan Arenado. He went to 3-0 on Pujols. He eventually lined out to center, and that was the only out he would get. And now it's Paul DeYoung. DeYoung is grounded out to second, also struck out. The 0-1.
And he is right now in swing mode, isn't he?
Ball and a strike. Also think he's in between.
Yeah, he's in between each pitch, different pitches. It's like he hasn't letting the pitch before go. You know, you got to like take the pitch and let that pitch go. Be prepared for the next pitch, and it's almost like you can see when guys are in a rush. It's almost like you feel like up here what you're watching is somebody that feels like they're late and maybe not late because of, you know, one thing or the other. You just can't really pinpoint exactly how you look or how you feel.
Hit down the left field line, foul.
Oh, he needed that.
And it's 2-2.
He needed that.
It almost looks like he's kind of leaning out in front, Jimmy, and then everything is late to catch up. Would you agree with that?
I think that the difference the space between the start and the finish is a lot longer than normal for him. And I've seen try to cut down the leg kick, but the stride is still pretty long, and that kind of keeps you in the air a little bit too long.
And then now I'm seeing like a little, he was pulling off a little bit, and now he's kind of diving a little bit. So very hard to keep comfortable when you're trying to play with it a little bit back and forth, trying to figure out which part are you trying to capture the best.
And he'll draw the walk
right there.
So 1-out walk for Paul DeJong, and the batter will be Tommy Edman. Edman walked and scored back in the first. His walks have been, and the walk rate, much better at the start of the season for Tommy Edman. So seeing the ball well, he's flied to center and also struck out. And that is whacked foul down the right field line.
Nice play right there by the ball boy.
Short lead at first for DeJong. And the slider taken low. Here's a 1-1 inside, and it's a count of 2 balls and 1 strike.
A lot of pitches, a lot of wasted pitches, a lot of in, out, in.
The 2-1. Now 3-1 on Tommy Edman. Goldie on deck. Not a lot of offense really either side, even though the Cardinals do have the 5 runs, but 3 of them on 1 swing of the bat.
How it's been too.
And they've got 4 hits total. It's just Waino's been terrific. He's allowed just 1 hit. 3-1 pitch, and that's a walk. So back-to-back walks. And now you get into the heart of this lineup. Paul Goldschmidt walked and scored back in the first inning. He's also lined out here today. You do this, you're asking for trouble, and here comes your former teammate Cal Eldred, pitching coach now with Kansas City.
Yes.
And a quick word from St. Louis Children's.
St. Louis Children's Hospital, the only place where Washington University physicians have gathered from across the globe, discovering and developing life-changing treatments for kids.
Cal pitched with the Cardinals. Some very good teams, 03, 04, and 05, so 3 years in St. Louis. He has a screw, a big screw in his elbow.
Screw loose.
Not loose, but in his elbow, and it was Mike Matheny playing catch in an offseason with Cal, and Cal thought his career was over, you may recall, and couldn't believe how good his arm started to feel. And Mike reached out to the Cardinals and said, I want to take a flyer on this guy and see what he's got.
Once all the pieces start feeling better again, it's amazing. Kind of the same thing with Andy Bennis a little bit, wasn't it?
Chris Carpenter
right there. Carpenter.
That was on the advice of Mike Matheny.
Prime of his career right there, too.
So 2 runners on, back-to-back walks, and here is Goldschmidt. Hall of Famers from that team, 04 and 05. Albert Pujols, Yadier Molina, Larry Walker. I bet Larry's probably watching us today.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Doesn't miss many Cardinal games. One of our favorites.
Unless he's in Mexico playing golf, which I found out he spends a lot of time down there now. Good for him. Little sun. Little golf.
TVs work down there too, though.
They do.
1 ball and 1 strike. Goldie He's due for number 3. How about right here? Runners go. Pitch is a strike. Double steal. Second and third with one down. That was easy.
Probably shuffle step probably 3 or 4 times. And Amir never really even looked back at him.
He's going to open up some hitting lanes because the Royals going to bring the infield in, I would assume. And they do. And the 1-2 pitch.
Oof. Yeah.
Tommy Edman now tied with Bader, 6 stolen bases to lead the National League. Good job by Goldie not to swing at that pitch too. He knows base hit now. He can pick up 2 runs.
Didn't get greedy. He's patient. Worst case scenario, you get a fly ball, you get an RBI. Get a base hit, you get 2.
And it's taken low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Always with a double steal. Secondary runners got to make sure the first guy is going. So there's a lot of moving parts in that double steal.
And the second guy never gets as good as a jump. And you could see there that Tommy was trailing just a little bit, but the speed obviously makes up the difference.
Full count on Goldie.
Take right there, huh?
See a lot of guys swinging over that pitch. Goldschmidt extended his on base streak to 12 straight with a walk. Run scored back in the first. Arenado, 3-run homer. He's on deck. And the 3-2 pitch. Bases loaded. 3 consecutive walks by Amir Garrett. And Mike Matheny has seen enough here. So Garrett gets the first man, Molina, with a pop out into shallow right. The first baseman, O'Hearn, made the catch. And now 3 consecutive walks, and Nolan Arenado coming in here in the top of the 7th. Walks, he steps in, boom, 3-0 St. Louis. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. And it was number 7. And he's driven in 21 on the year. No doubter from the Cardinal third baseman. And now he has the bases loaded. And only 1 out. Ronald Bolaños, young man from Cuba, had a couple of stints with the Royals a year ago. Arenado, the owner of 5 Grand Slams. He has had a 7 RBI game. He's actually done that twice. So the 3-run homer in the first. He's also grounded back to the pitcher, fly to center. And a chance to add on for St. Louis. The first pitch. Strike 1. Bolaños, the Chevy, called to the pen. Albert Pujols on deck. The 0-1. Ripped into the gap in right center. And 2 runs will score. And a big day for Nolan Arenado that makes it a 7-0 lead. And Nolan himself has brought in 5. Easily brings home 2. And it brings in Albert Pujols, now 7-0 St. Louis.
A nice swing, nice and easy. Trying to do too much. It's so pretty when it all works, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And the first pitch to Albert, taken for a ball. Lined out to center, grounded to third, popped out to short. what might be his final plate appearance here in Kansas City for the great Albert Pujols. A ball and a strike, couple of breaking balls. It's a season high 5 driven in for Nolan Arenado. Tyler O'Neill did that on opening day. The 1-1 pitch. 1-2. Outfield is deep. They are straight away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The next to Pujols. Oh, he'd love to have that back.
It's the same pitch he popped up last time too, and just a little early.
Out number 2 here in the top of the 7th. Well, feast or famine. Now 11 straight games, either scoring 7 or more, or 2 runs or under that mark. So,
and it's crazy too, is because it's usually in an inning, or 2. It's not like a run here and a run there and 2 runs and another run. It's like 5 runs, 4 runs, big innings, and then shutdown.
There's Dylan Carlson. He'll pinch hit for Juan Yepez. It's not often you're going to have Albert Pujols start against a right-handed pitcher, which we saw last night, and the matchup really wasn't a good one for him. But Ollie was telling me, he said, hey, Albert gives us competitive at-bats, and that's what we want. And
the thing I'm seeing, I think, to be honest with you, is
he thinks that guys can feed off of him.
Yes, and I think he's just not trusting himself. I think he's buying into the old stuff and all the things he's trying to do extra. He doesn't need to. I think he's plenty ready, and like those things that you do to be a little quicker is getting him out in front of pitches, and pitches that he used to hammer, like that slider right there, just a little far out in front, and the ball has made his way down yet, and you can see just hit underneath the ball a little bit too much. And that's when the ball doesn't, when you don't let the ball travel, you have to go out and you actually reach for it, and it's just a little bit early.
Something to drive here on 2-0.
Better swing right there a little bit. It's like he kind of got back. He's making an adjustment a little bit where he's not falling off as much. I mean, that one clearly he did at the end, but I'm watching when the bat goes through the zone, can get back on his toes and stay over the plate a little bit more, and the front foot sticks. You can see how he's trying to change a little bit right there.
And it's back to the pitcher. So Carlson, the 3rd and final out. Time to stretch. Day baseball here in Kansas City. Big day for Arenado. He's driven in 5 of the 7. And it's 7-0 St. Louis.
Cards up 7-0. The Cards lead baseball with 24 stolen bases. They obviously have a ton of speed. Willie McGee loves what he's seeing on the base pass, but he says it's not the same version of Cardinal baseball from when he played. Willie told me it will never be what we were back then. We had free reign. We just ran. There was no script. Now everything is analytics driven, which is useful, but it's just not the same. Danny, we had Willie on pregame. Always a treat to talk to that guy.
Yeah, that was a great visit, Jimmy. Really enjoyed it. No fans. Anytime you hear from Willie, they enjoy that. Such a class act, humble man, and one of our all-time favorites. I told him yesterday, we were coming back from the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. This is Ryan O'Hearn. I said, I was emceeing this, and I don't know if you've ever heard it, Willie. And I was with Willie and his wife. We were in an Uber coming back. I said, Whitey Herzog, when I was interviewing him for his golf tournament, said the most popular player in the history of this organization. He said it wasn't Stan, not Big Mac, not Yachty. There's another ground ball and a fair ball. Race to the bag, Waino there. And Whitey said, I truly believe with all these great players, and Willie's not a Hall of Famer, he's a Cardinal Hall of Famer, but the most popular player in the history of this organization is Willie McGee. And Willie said he had never heard that. He said, well, you know, Whitey, he's crazy. And I said, no. And he said, he said, it's humbling to hear something like that from Whitey. He said he ran into him the other day, and he's had a great conversation. Whitey was at the ballpark. He loves him, loved playing for him. It's quite a statement, though, from a Hall of Famer that meant so much to really both these organizations, the Royals and obviously the Cardinals. Another ground ball, backhanded. Arenado settles, fires a strike over to first.
Wow.
Well, that's when you know who's running. I mean, Merrifield can get down the line. A lot of times he'll do that off balance in foul territory. This time he settles and throws. Waino has a chance at a quick inning.
Pretty good play right here. It's tough. You know, when you don't throw a ball hard for 5 or 6 innings and let that one go like that, it's dead on the money. It's pretty impressive.
So 4 pitches in this inning. Pitch count at 88. Might be the last inning. I would think it would be for Waino when you have a 7-run lead, and you can bank some innings here or there. You try to do it. McFarland getting loose in the bullpen, and another ground ball.
Hurry.
Goldie, Waino, the out. What a job by Wainwright. 7 innings of 1-hit baseball. He's something else. 7-0 our score. Smith Funko Pop is coming up Sunday, May 15th, presented by Coca-Cola and Schnucks. Cardinals.com/promotions. Isbell takes over for Taylor in center. Kyle Isbell. So we head to San Francisco, first of 4 beginning tomorrow night. Cardinals will have their first open date Monday. It'll be needed for these players.
What's it been? 20
20 games in 20 days.
20 even. I think it was 20 or 21.
And then we're back home. 6-game homestand, Baltimore and San Francisco. 3 with the Orioles and 3 with the Giants. Adam Wainwright, 15 ground ball outs today. And I mean, I can't remember one that was hit extremely hard either. Tons of soft contact today. Here's a 1-1 to Tyler O'Neill. Tripled back in the first. He has walked and flied to center. Arenado has driven in 5 of the 7. And the 2-1. And again, we said it last night. Where would the Cardinals be without Nolan? Arenado now leads the National League with 23 runs batted in. Jose Ramirez has 28 to lead all players in Major League Baseball. The Cleveland Guardians third baseman.
That's still strange to say.
Oh, I mess it up all the time.
I don't even, when you said it, it caught me off guard. I wasn't even thinking about it. It's amazing we just don't, see it every day. It's like I drove in yesterday and saw that there was a new name on the Arrowhead Stadium, and it kind of threw me for a loop.
Tied him up in a strikeout of O'Neill.
Did you notice that?
I did.
Next door?
I did.
That's why I love this place so much.
Adam Wainwright, Budweiser Player of the Game. 7 innings, 1 hit. He walked 1. 15 ground ball outs, and he strikes out 2. Early on, the defense helping him out, set the tone, along with 5 runs in the first. That doesn't hurt.
Yep. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Arenado.
Goldie on that diving stop as well.
How about the first 2 plays of the game?
Yep.
Gold gloves to go.
A 1 pitch to Bader, and a base hit into center field. And a sac fly back in the first, and his first hit this afternoon.
He might be another one of those guys that needed that one too.
There's Yadier Molina. Really, you think about it, only 3 balls were hit hard today for the Royals. You had Taylor in the 3rd with a single, their only hit. Benintendi, there was an error in the 4th, and then Melendez hit a fly ball in the 5th. That's been it. And Yadi has been catching them all. What could be his final plate appearance here in Kansas City. Drops to a knee.
I was thinking when we showed the highlight right there, maybe the ball down the first baseline early on with Benintendi was hit pretty decent. Other than that, like you said, nothing really special.
And the 0-1. Waino and Yadi have 201 team wins together. That's one shy of the all-time mark. Spahn and Crandall 202. And the 1-1 pitch to Yadier Molina.
Talking about balls hit hard, only one Kansas City Royal in the top 15 in exit velocity today off the bat. That is a single, like you said.
It's 3-1, and Yadi with one swing could reach 172 in home runs and 1,000 driven in for his career. Why not load up and let it rip? 3-1 pitch to Molina.
Good try, though. I like it.
The big 3 in KC. Albert, Yadi, Waino.
How about those first 3 games? That's silly.
3-2 pitch to Yadier Molina. And Yadi picks up a base hit. Into the gap in right center. Bader hustling to 3rd. And he'll stop there. A single for Yadier Molina. DeYoung is walked. He is grounded out and struck out. One out, runners at the corners, and a breaking ball in for a strike.
Good little first pitch breaking ball right there. Just enough up and in to kind of stop you from loading up. I kind of look fastball, right? Told look fastball out of the plate, fastball out of the plate, and then breaking ball jumps out of the hand. Oh! And just enough to shock you. Not able to swing.
Very short lead at first by Molina. Bader down at 3rd. One out, and the 1-1 pitch to Paul DeYoung. Good play to keep that in front by Melendez. That hit for Yadier Molina is now 2,123. 4 back of Mike Piazza for hits by a primary catcher. Piazza's 6th all time. The 2-1 pitch to Paul DeYoung. And DeYoung sits a fly ball out to left field. Bader tagging up at 3rd. He will score. And it's an 8-0 St. Louis lead.
Benintendi didn't want anything to do with that, did he?
And DeYoung brings in his 5th of the season. Runner at first, Tommy Edman, top of the lineup. Edman has walked twice today. Say this about DeYoung, that's his first RBI since April 19th at Miami. With the struggles at the plate, and it's been talked about a lot, it has not, for the most part, affected his defense. Grades out.
Playing great defense.
Yeah, I mean, he does grade out extremely high defensively, and see it all the time. The struggles at the plate carry over to the other side of the game, and at least so far that has not happened.
He's made some really nice plays too in the last week.
Yep. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Tommy Edman. Ball and a strike. This is good to see the walk rate really jump for Tommy here at the beginning of the season. Had been kind of a knock on him if you're going to have him at the top of the lineup. Is he drawing walks deep into counts, those kind of things? The 1-1.
There we go.
The 2-1. Now 2-2.
Little mask covering up.
Might be twofold. It's a chilly day, and with everything that's going on with the Cardinals here in the last 24 hours. Count of 2-2 on Tommy Edman. And a full count. Goldschmidt on deck. Molina will be running on the pitch with 2 outs and the 3-2. We'll do it again. And he draws his 3rd walk this afternoon.
That's a C right there.
The Cardinals have received a bunch of walks here today. I believe that is number 7. And now it's Goldschmidt. He's walked twice. And runners at first and second. 8-0 our score. And the first pitch taken for a ball. The season high 7 walks for the Cardinals. I got a feeling, Jimmy, that Goldie's going to hit something and it's going to be loud. Really loud. Let's see here. 2 balls, no strikes.
I got a feeling if they don't hurry up, they're going to get wet.
2 outs, 2 on. The 2-0 pitch to Goldschmidt. 3-0. Pujols has been pulled back for Corey Dickerson, who moves to the on-deck circle. And the 3-0 pitch to Paul Goldschmidt. 3-1.
Oh, he threw
borderline pitch.
Threw a really nice slider early on and didn't get the call and got a little frustrated. Then he gave him that one.
Plaza Tire Service pitch tracks off the plate, called a strike, and now a 3-1 pitch to Goldie. Lined foul. Bases loaded. Eight walks received by the Cardinals. They pull back Dickerson, and it'll be Brendan Donovan. So Donovan to hit for Nolan Arenado. Cal Eldred coming out.
And they just switched places. Donovan and then now Dickerson back out on the on-deck circle.
A long day for pitching coach Cal Eldred. 8 walks, starter got 1 out. And then he, along with Mike Matheny, trying to navigate the rest of the game with the bullpen.
Tell you what, every time I look up and see that hometown of Brendan Donovan, it throws me off.
Germany.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Wurzburg,
Germany. Not your typical hometown for a major leaguer.
Father serving in our armed forces and was born overseas.
They're pretty awesome.
So the base is loaded for Brendan Donovan. First pitch. A check swing and a foul ball.
What's interesting too is get a dual citizenship. My father was born in Panama, and my grandfather was doing the same thing, working on the canal, and he has a dual citizenship. That was interesting.
The 0-1 pitch to Donovan. The shift on the right side. Good cut.
Swing. Wow.
0-2.
Eric Davis used to say he's got bad intentions at the plate, swinging like that.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Brendan Donovan. Hits softly to short, across the diamond, and they get him by a step. Cardinals strand the bases loaded, and they lead this one 8-0. This night, Monday, May 23rd, fans at Cancer Night at the ballpark as we fight cancer. Purchase a special themed ticket. Cardinals Cancer Awareness Cap, and a portion of each ticket sold will also be donated back to cancer research at Siteman Cancer Center. For tickets, visit cardinals.com/theme. Always a very important night at the ballpark. TJ McFarland, Chevy called to the pen. How about Adam Wainwright, partner, as he goes 7, gives up 1 hit. That was it.
It's actually, if you think about it, starting to become ridiculous. We talked so long about how he was nearing the end, and now he just is getting better and better and better. Don't know how that happens, but
he has done another magnificent job today.
Well, Brendan Donovan staying in the game. He's at third. And that pitch taken low by MJ Melendez. Fly to center, fly to left. It was only 1 walk by Waino today. Struck out 2, and just soft contact every single time you looked up. Little slow rollers, soft ground balls.
No strikeouts today, so he needed that, and he got it early too, which is, I mean, like I said, talked about the key to the game, right? Which was throwing strikes and keeping your defense in the game and allowing them to do their business, and he did it. It's like he was like listening, right?
15 ground ball outs.
Just 15, perfect number.
Jimmy, somehow it always comes back to you.
I don't know. No, just I'm up here watching. I think it's great. He's a very nice friend. A nice conversation with him last night on the bus. Again. Making sure he wasn't sleeping. You were sitting behind me, saw him sitting there relaxing.
He had his eyes closed.
Oh, yeah.
Quick turnaround, maybe trying to catch as much rest as he can. Nolan Arenado with the 5 driven in today. Ground ball, diving stop, Edman. Oh, he couldn't get it out of the glove. Almost made a dazzling play Shallow right field.
That is number 2 play of the week between both of these teams. That would have been unbelievable.
He gets it out of the glove. He would have had a shot.
Oh, yeah. I thought he had no chance. Made up ground and just didn't get it out. Where I was telling you the other day about running all that way and then diving for a ball and have it pop out of your glove. Similar feeling right there.
Here's Kyle Isbell. And a strike. Isbell, first plate appearance, took over in center. A ball and a strike. And the 1-1. Been an up and down start, hasn't it, with McFarland here?
Yeah, and right now he's just peppering the bottom of the strike zone too. I was going to say, what a contrast. He's did a nice job early, kind of been a little bit erratic, and then today just on the money right here.
Lifted in the air out to left near the corner. O'Neill with the catch. Melendez back to the bag at first.
A little bit of wind up there. That ball really does carry to left, doesn't it? I mean, that ball stayed in the air forever.
It's blowing out towards
left field a little bit.
The foul line and left. Budweiser, what's on tap? Good matchup. Michaelis, a 1.52 ERA. His last 3 starts, he's been great. Webb going for the Giants. Budweiser, what's on tap? And our coverage will begin at 8 St. Louis time on Valley Sports Midwest. Be in the city of San Francisco. One out. And Emmanuel Rivera. Well, you know when he's right, you're going to see a lot of ground balls, too.
And you're seeing what you're seeing right now. That is just pepper in the bottom of the zone with the sinker. I think, you know, when a lefty that throws like this is kind of locked in a little bit, that ball to the lefty down and in for the strike, I think that's a tough pitch because you're kind of aiming. You know, you don't want to lose it up and hit somebody, and you don't want to throw it across, have it run across the plate. And he was just kind of a couple in a row, just like right there in that little spot. That's a tough pitch for a left-hander to hit too. That's pulling it foul or rolling it over.
The count of 1-2. Olivares on deck. Let's see if TJ can't get that ground ball double play.
I feel like every time you ask him to do it, he does it.
Yeah. Last year for sure.
Last year for sure.
The 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Grounder out there, and there's your double play. Nicely done, Goldie. Steps on the bag to second for the double play.
Thank you very much, Danny.
8 score. Transmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. 9th inning rolls in. And a score of 8-0. Wainwright, 7 innings, 1 hit allowed. Arenado is driven in 5 of the 7 today, and Dickerson will pinch hit for Albert Pujols. Bolaños, his 2nd inning of work. And a ground ball. Hit to the right side, and the first out. So Witt moves to short. Rivera takes over at third base. There's Dylan Carlson. 1 out and nobody on. Dylan ground back to the pitcher, first time up. And that's taken for a ball. Two and 0 the count. And the next two, Dylan Carlson. 3-0.
What's interesting, I'm watching right here. Dylan has got his, most guys dig in. If I can finish this thought after this pitch. Most guys dig in with their toes. Look at Dylan's back foot. His toe is above the hole of where the left-handers dig in. See right there? See how it sticks up a little bit? So it's almost like his heel is dug in.
So you're saying he's back on his heels on these
It just looks a little weird, like he's past where most lefties dig in. Watch when he puts his foot in right here. That's a really tough angle right there to see, but it's almost like he doesn't like where the lefties are dug in. See his left toe up a little bit? So he's in between where a lot of the other lefties dig in. He's almost a little bit closer to the plate. Instead of digging out that hole, it's almost like he just kind of settles in there and fine, which is kind of interesting. I would love to know more about that.
Draws a walk. Another walk issued to the Cardinals. And here's Tyler O'Neill. O'Neill with a triple today, a walk. Shift on the left side. And it's a ball and a strike. I believe Packy Naughton is getting loose in the St. Louis bullpen, and the 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. So you have Witt at short. He's now played 8 different positions, everything but catcher. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 is hit a ton down the left field line. It is hooking. It is gone. It's a home run. 10-0 St. Louis on a 2-run homer by Tyler O'Neill. His first home run since opening day. It was just a matter if it would stay fair. 10-0.
We were saying earlier in the game, he's doing a favor to Tyler by trying to throw him breaking balls inside, as he's just a little off balance, and right there he hung him one, and wow, he made him pay. That's a bomb. Ball's carrying to left, somebody said.
And now Bader. O'Neill would know. He was the one that made that catch in the corner.
2 of them over there.
Yeah. So the Cardinals, after last night being shut down offensively, have exploded for 10 runs in this game. 10 runs on 8 hits. I'm sure one of the aspects of this game that Mike Matheny will talk about in his post game is all the walks. Cardinals have walked the season high, I believe now 9 times.
Yeah. Wow.
And that ain't going to cut it. Count of 1 ball and 1 strike on Bader. That's taken high. Two and 1 the count.
Kind of just rolling up there, isn't it? That slider.
And a ground ball hit left side. Low throw and the pick nicely done at first by O'Hearn.
That is just a nice thing to have over at first base, isn't it? Anytime you make a tough throw, got a guy over there like Goldie or right there O'Hearn making a pick.
We saw the difficulties with Jose Martinez. Remember, trying to play him at first, and
it's kind of a, it's kind of like having good hands or not. I mean, his first baseman, same thing.
And Yachty on the first pitch. It's a fly ball into right, and that'll do it. So we move now to the bottom of the 9th. 10-0 St. Louis. Tyler O'Neill, his first home run since opening day. Chevy called to the pen, and Packy Naughton is in for St. Louis. The Cardinals leading 10-0. Arenado with a 3-run homer early on. And in the top of the 9th, a 2-run blast by Tyler O'Neill. Nolan with 5 driven in today. Wainwright 7 innings, 1 hit allowed. All adds up to a 10-0 lead as we move to the bottom of the 9th, and the rain's starting to fall a little bit here at Kauffman Stadium. Very light drizzle.
Light drizzle with big drops. I never thought I would see Skip Schumacher wearing a hat like that. He was always that guy who would be out there with short sleeves in the cold. Now he's a coach, and he's wearing a ski hat.
There's Olivares and a strike. Packy picked up from the Angels. Did have a little big league time with Los Angeles.
His 9th career game.
Inside, 2-1. Two and 2. Fastball at 92. This is Dozier at the plate. Check that. Olivares at the plate. And a base hit. Edward Olivares.
What a good piece of hitting right there.
Fifth hit in the series. And now we'll see Dozier. Pinch hitting for Benintendi. Back-to-back singles. 2 on, nobody out, and Salvador Perez. And there's a strike. Going to the count on Perez, hitless today. There's an 0-2 pitch. Inside, 1-2. Here's a 1-2. Struck him out on the inside corner.
Pretty good job by Yachty right there. He hasn't thrown him any fastballs inside all day. Used it right there at the end. Perfect timing.
We are not used to seeing Perez struggle like this.
No.
So 2 on and 1 out for Ryan O'Hearn. Ground ball. Goldie will get the lead man at second. Runner advances to third. And the Royals down 2 there. Final out. 2 outs. Runners at the corners here in the bottom of the 9th. Whit Merrifield will try to get Kansas City on the board. Hitless today. Popped out to second, grounded out a couple of times, 0 for 3. Two balls, no strikes. Cardinals looking to earn the split here in Kansas City. 2-0 the count, and pick up another shutout with 1 more out. And a ground ball backhanded by DeYoung. Force it second, the stretch and the outs. They hold on for the shutout, and they win it 10-0. And with the win, that's now for Yachty and Waino, 202 team wins together, tying the all-time mark held by Spahn and Crandall. So a historic win in that regard for Adam Wainwright, Yadier Molina, and both a big part of it here today.
And everything you said today came true. You see the last play right there with DeYoung's defense, and then Waino with another brilliant 7-inning gem. Only 1 hit. Big day for the Cardinals again. Feast or famine. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. The post-game show is coming up next.
They hold on for the shutout. Thank you, Jimmy. Fired up.
Did I say
the post-game is coming up next?
I'll see everybody in San Francisco. Do it, Jimmy.